Hi friends! Let's turn this into a pendant. So once I've used old watch mechanism to make a ring, and today I wanted to make a pendant using a larger one. Well, let's get started. I will use this sterling silver metal sheet and these bezel wires to set this old watch in silver. It's actually very nice on the other side too, so I'm thinking about leaving the back side open, and to do that I will have to cut out some of the back plate to open the back. I'm trying to pick the bezel wire because I have a wider one and a smaller one, and I'm just trying to figure out which one would fit better. Okay, I'm gonna pick the thinner one. Closing the bezel now, and oof, the edges are so ugly and uneven, so I'm gonna use a file like this to even out the edges. They should be flush, so when you solder them together there are no gaps between them. That will be much better. Done. Let's get it soldered. The shape is a bit wonky now, but that's okay because we will shape it now. Gaps between bezel wire and backplate, I will use sanding paper to sand the bottom part of the bezel wire so there are no gaps. Alright, so our bezel is soldered. What I want to do now is to check the fit and cut out some of the silver out of the back plate so it's open. So I've got my bezel here and I want to check the fit. So I'm gonna put floss over here. Sits perfectly, and no issues at all. So now I got the fit right, and now I have to cut it out. But how to do it? So I think the best way will be to use a Sharpie, a marker, something like that, to mark inside. We will need to use a drill bit to drill through here and be able to cut it out from the inside. Right, so now that the bezel is finished, I'm going to use my file and sanding sticks to sand and pre-polish the edges because they are very sharp right now. half round one is perfect for the inside. Okay, so one thing is left to do before I start cleaning and polishing is to solder the bail on. And I'm gonna go for a very simple one, honestly, because I want the old watch to be the center point of this whole pendant. That's why I also went for this extremely simple setting. So I'm gonna solder the bail on and we're gonna start polishing. I am seriously just going to use flattened jump ring. This one is 4mm, very tiny one. To solder the jump ring on, I'm just gonna use the solder paste. To clean and pre-polish, I'm gonna use these attachments by Sunburst Dedeco. I really like the white ones, they are my favorite. For this stage, polishing, pre-polishing, cleaning, you could use bathing sticks or sanding papers, polishing papers, but I'm gonna use rotary tool with flex shaft. It just makes things so much faster, so I will be using that now. So now it's time to set the bezel, and I'm going to start with this, but I'll see how that goes because this is actually a thicker bezel than I usually use. So I might need to use another tool, but let's start with this one and see how it goes. Okay, so the bezel is actually quite thick and I don't have the strength in my arms to set it. So I'm going to use hammer handpiece for rotary tool to set this bezel. I'm going to switch from the foot control to this one, bench top. Okay, just finished closing the bezel and now all it's left is to clean the edges and polish it. If you'd like to see how I made this ring, check this video right here.